When communicating with a former partner in reference to your child, especially after a period of tension or difficulty, always communicate with a clear objective in mind. Keep emotion out of it, and all communications should be direct to the point, especially as they relate to your children. If you're trying to find out information or you want to let your partner know of any important information that they should know that are pertinent to your child, keep it limited to that. There are other methods of expanding conversation that can be done through attorneys. Keep it as if you're speaking to a coworker. Professional, keep the tone neutral, and make sure it's really just targeted to exactly what it is that you need to speak to them about. So in New Jersey, there are certain co-parenting apps such as Wizard. And usually these apps are for when conversations and communication has been difficult in the past. Specifically, if there has been a restraining order put in place, or conversations have typically been challenging and have escalated sort of outside of the original reason of the intended conversation. These apps are useful because they record everything. These conversations can't be deleted, so they're good at keeping things honest and sort of kind of pressuring your partner and yourself to be on your best behavior in terms of communication for the child. Establishing clear boundaries with your co-parent is very important and should be done very early on. There are several ways to do that. I think a transparent conversation at the outset really helps. Discussing all important themes, such as expectations for drop-offs, transportation for the child to and from school or extracurricular activities, establishing boundaries as to when potential new partners are introduced to the child, establishing what are the expectations in terms of any transfers, such as will clothing and hygiene items be kept at one house? Will they be transferred between the parties? If there's any nannies or babysitters involved, is one party to have sort of exclusive communication and everything is to be managed through that one co-parent, or can both co-parents freely talk to nannies or babysitters? A schedule should be outlined as possible early in advance. Of course, they're always subject to change. Professional obligations or personal obligations can come up. But I always recommend, as soon as you know that something is coming up that may alter a previously existing parenting schedule, be as courteous as you can to your other co-parent and let them know as soon as you know. That way, they can successfully manage around that and demonstrate the flexibility that you need. So if you've done everything in your power to get your ex to follow an existing co-parenting agreement and it's just not working, there are several actions that you can take that will hopefully resolve the issue. The first is sending a clear written communication with a neutral tone, simply reminding your ex of the existing custody arrangement or parenting order, and ask them to please follow it. If they're still refusing to do that and your co-parent has an attorney, and you have an attorney as well, you can always ask your attorney to send another formal written request demanding compliance. If that doesn't work, there is another option that can involve the courts and is useful as a last step measure, which is having your counsel file a motion to enforce litigants' rights. And that's sometimes necessary when mere good faith efforts just simply won't resolve the issue. With that, you're asking a judge to please intervene and establish consequences if your co-parent continues to fail to follow an existing order. If you have any questions regarding how to communicate with your ex while co-parenting, please do not hesitate to contact Next Chapter Family Law. We're here and we're happy to help.